Welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Bachelor Season 26, Episode 7. Now, Chris, we're a little bit behind. You were away for a week, I was away for a week, and we're busy on the catch-up. But this is Episode 7, isn't it? So where would you like to start, sir?
Well, Dave, we might as well start with good old goody baddie Mara, who is still going for Sarah. Sarah had got the rose. She was like the cat who got the cream, wasn't she? And it was all sort of... I say it every time we do this now. I see the formula. People step up from nowhere. Like the producers have gone, it's you. And I've said this before. This is your turn to be the baddie. So up steps Sarah, and she's now, she's now the Shanae or the Cassidy or whoever. Mara was teetering on the edge last week. She'd laid into, said to Clayton about her being, not ready, and how she knows that, I don't know. She's older. She's now this oracle. She did bottle it a bit and say, well, what I was saying was this. So Sarah goes on the date with Clayton and he brings it all up, doesn't he? And she comes and confronts the women and has a bit of a kick-off, but then goes off like a smart ass and very arrogant, and the other girls are all sort of like, she's just a bitch. But I think Mara is the same, but she's playing different tactics to try and stay in the game.
Yeah. We've said it before about The Bachelor, but I think I've seen it enough now to see the girls just bring it. The amount of game playing and sophistication of the game playing is such a level above what we see in The Bachelorette. And like you say, I think maybe it's just the producers don't show us everything. And, they're trying to plant seeds here, there, and everywhere. And then they take the best bits. So someone like Mara, who we didn't see much of, she might have shot some footage where she was being a bit arsey or a bit villainy. But, while Shanae was there, then there was only one show in town, wasn't there? So when she goes, it's like, right, who else can we push to the front kind of thing? But it didn't work for her anyway, did it? Like you say, booted out of the rose ceremony, and then that was her. So up stepped the next villain.
Yeah. And I tell you what, Dave, I watched this, and it sounds really boasting, but I watched it by the pool, and I had my Amazon Prime activated watching it, and I was fuming, Dave. I was sat there, lovely pina colada, bit of sun cream, factor 50. There is a story, everyone, as always, because Chris has a story. Supposed to go to Dubai, British Airways shafted up. We ended up in Tenerife in Spain. Still lovely, first world problems, but it wasn't the 50th birthday for Samantha that I was promising. And I, unfortunately, Dave, like most of the contestants, underperformed on this one. And it wasn't my fault. But
all right, on the weekend, on the week away, you underperformed.
Yeah, yes, it did. Actually, Dave. It didn't take much. Anyway, just when she's got 4 batteries with her. But we'll talk about that another time. But anyway, so fucking Clayton, when he has these conversations, Dave, I just want to
my God,
jump through the screen and go. And he goes, how many times does he have to do? And we always talk about the bingo fucking card. It's so nice here to be vulnerable.
Oh God.
And and expose, and you're really laying it on the line, and I'm like, oh, fuck off. Vulnerable is the buzzword that triggers
journey
me.
With me.
Yeah, the journey, that's it. You're vulnerable and we're going on a journey. Fuck off. He's like he's reading tea leaves or something. It's pathetic.
No, I think he's been saying it all season a lot, but I must admit, this episode for me as well, it was like he's learned a new word and needs to get it into every conversation multiple times. And I don't know about bingo. It's a fucking drinking game. Like when he says vulnerable. And it was just, it's just so annoying. So I don't know. Someone needs to give him a thesaurus or something. Just give us some different fucking words. But yeah, he was really bloody annoying this time. But again, I think he's kind of he's seen enough of The Bachelor. He's done a little bit of homework to realize there must be like a top 10 of words that you must have to put in there. Journey and vulnerable must be in the top probably three, Chris. I can't even think of one that gets repeated more than that one. And then those two.
Yeah, I'm with you. And the thing is, because it's not genuine and it feels like they've done this scene about 7 or 8 times to get that right emotion, it comes across as completely fake. So you just sort of like, really, Clayton? Oh, she's vulnerable, is she?
Yeah.
Fucking great. Yeah, we've heard this every episode because he's not a great actor. And I think going off the back of the Mara and Sarah, they had that tete-a-tete and it all kicked off. And Mara's like, it's not cute. You're nasty. You're insensitive, a little bit ignorant. It's not attractive and all this. And there was all this little things going on, which should have really got me and be like, yes, this is it. This is what it's all kicking off. But because Clayton was just there, like the plank of wood that he is, I was just like, he don't deserve anyone, I don't think, David.
He's still got that vacant expression, hasn't he? When someone's talking, there's nobody home at all. Yeah, he's just doing the old Homer Simpson, got no idea, no processing at all.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's a weird dynamic, and what a weird character to pick for The Bachelor. It might be that is the DNA that we need, just this completely blank piece of paper that they can just use and direct because
plank of wood.
Yeah, it's just a plank of wood. He's just ridiculous. And then when we go into the rose ceremony, Mara gets her, P45, see you later. You know what I mean? It's just like they're all gone, like see you later. Eliza goes as well. It wasn't a surprise. Mara, the thing is, when you watch this show, when someone does what she's done, even though I think she's right in what she's saying, she's still playing the game as well. And the way they frame it, yeah, exactly. The way they frame it, Dave, it never sits with me. And you're like, well, you're definitely going here because we've got the pantomime baddie now in Sarah. She's not going yet, but you're definitely going. So you questioned this a few episodes ago, and I think you're right. It's very strange. We do sort of get 2 rose ceremonies this episode, but it's very strange how quickly it's sort of as if the last episode should finish on the rose ceremony and then we start afresh. But they always seem to give us that 15-minute overhang. It's very strange.
Yeah, I think the other series that we've watched, it has been that. It starts off, you have a group date, you've got a solo date kind of thing, you've got all these activities and what have you, and then the end of the show is the rose ceremony, and that all the drama builds up to that. But so it just feels off having the rose ceremony quite so early.
Yeah, but I agree. Sorry,
yeah. No, it's all right. You weren't responding, so I thought I'd jump in there. I'll carry on then.
Anyway, I'm responding now. No, but you're right. And they go. And then we get this thing where they go to Croatia. So initially, I was sort of like thinking, well, they're not all in Croatia. And I had this theory when I was watching it. And then it got shot down. My own theory, which doesn't take much, Dave, I know. But my own theory was like Susie goes on this date with Clayton. They go to Vienna, don't they, Austria, and this Croatia thing. But I thought they must all go on dates with him. And then it's a bit like The Apprentice. When it was The Apprentice, when they do the VT saying, I'm going home, and they're in the back of the cab, that's filmed on day one because they all have big overcoats on and all this stuff. So you don't know who's actually gone. And it's not shot in, like most TV stuff, it's not shot in sequence how we actually see it. So I'm thinking, well, Susie's gone on a date. They must all go on a date with Clayton, and then whoever goes, they just don't use. But anyway, all the girls are in the hotel then. So they've took this week break, and it's the ones who are still in. But it's very strange because Susie gets the full Pretty Woman treatment, which we've seen in the last series with Matt. And he takes one of the girls out. I think it was Rachel, wasn't it, who he actually won. She gets the full gear, the Louboutins. I got her shoes right this time, Dave. I think it was Louboutins. And she looks amazing.
Not Jimmy Choos. That's what you. That's
That's
what you
what I
said
said last time.
initially,
All
wasn't
right,
it?
yeah. I've already been ripped. I think Lorraine said that on Facebook. She went,
Wasn't it
Chris,
Louis
no,
Vuitton or something?
I don't know what I said, Dave, but I said the wrong thing anyway. I probably said it again wrong. So you're probably listening, laughing, but it's the full thing, Cinderella thing, a lovely day. She goes back, all the girls are there. Gabby has got a pan of piss face, Dave. She's like, oh, great. And she even said that. She went, I was a little bit jealous. I was like, a fucking little. She was fuming. We've got a great connection, me and Clayton. No, you haven't, pal. No, you haven't, Gabby, because you're going next. So what did you think of the date, Dave? Because it's the DNA of The Bachelor, all that stuff.
Well, I'm sure I remember when Rachel Kirkconnell. See that, Chris? Even the surname I remember.
Yeah, you did well
Again, I'm convinced I'm just chucking out all this useful information and filling my brain up with trash. So when she went on the date, I'm sure I read somewhere that basically if you go on this Pretty Woman date, you've got a really good chance of making it to the final.
Right.
And so, and at the time I'm thinking, well, is Susie going to be there? Well, I don't know. Evidence suggests from the previous seasons she's got a really good chance. So I think it falls for me into the camp of I'm done with it. It's like I like the drama in this. I've enjoyed this season more than any other. But when they churn out this drivel and it's the same shit, just it's different people, but it's the exact same formula. I'm not into it. And I can't remember if I've said this in the past, Chris, but I know like Pretty Woman is held up as this romantic movie, and this modern day Cinderella. I still say Richard Gere just pulled fucking Julia Roberts, so she was just there to give him a nosh, and and that was it. That was how it all started. I just can't buy into the romance of it when he was cruising for fucking prostitutes. But anyway, I digress slightly. We need to cover that on the VHS, by the way, but I've just given away my hand.
Yeah, but you're right.
Pretend you didn't hear that if you heard that, and we review it in the future.
Hey, you are wicked. I know I'm the fucking one when you're on form like that, that was a classic. Yeah, I'll give you that. It's true though, isn't it? That is true. I mean, yeah. I always found, I'd say which film I always found really uncomfortable to watch is it Indecent Proposal, where Richard Fingy, what's he called? Robert Redford and Demi Moore, £1 million money and all that, and they're in trouble and all that stuff. So it really is unusual, like to use this as a thing. And I'm the same as you. I watched that film Pretty Woman, and Julia Roberts, a pretty lady, like really stamped her on the map, didn't it? But at the end of the day, the sentiment behind where he's pulled her background from to what she's actually doing is unbelievable. It's a Cinderella story, but like an almost seedy one, I think.
Well, let me change it slightly, right? Let's just say he bumps into her and she happens to be a sex worker and he accepts her for all of that and they fall in love. It's a great movie. It's the fact that he was cruising for prostitutes. He was going to pick someone up, Chris, just happened to pick her up.
Yeah,
and it is that bit that that doesn't quite sit right with me. But anyway, back to The Bachelor. So yeah, I think standard stuff with the Pretty Woman Day. I think it definitely puts Susie up there and in the favourites, at least just from previous statistics. But yeah, I must admit, I'm sitting on the fence a little bit here because I actually think, Chris, there was one bit of this episode that I really, really enjoyed.
Go on.
And as much as I can stick the boot in with Clayton, and I do think he is a bit of a muppet, bit of a plank of wood, he actually exceeded my expectations, which were pretty low, to be fair, of what he could read. But like you say, the other girls are absolutely singling Sarah out, and they're not happy with her, and they think she's basically thinking she's won already, and Clayton's confronting her about this, and on come the waterworks. But then Chris happens this moment, this miracle, where Clayton basically says, I think you're just trying to force out a fake cry. And then
Yes,
she's like,
yes.
she's like, oh, well, I'm all cried out. And now, him accusing her of that, but her coming back with the response just made me think, oh, he's nailed it. Because even
Yeah.
I wasn't sure, but the way they'd shot it looked like it could have been genuine to me. But her response of, well, I'm all cried out, just sealed the deal for me that he'd actually nailed it. And I just thought that was the funniest thing. I thought it was absolutely brilliant because even though they were, making her out to be a bit of a villain, I didn't think that would happen. I thought she'd be in the last three, to be honest.
Yeah, I did as well, Dave, because we'd had these baddies as such, as we know, Shanae and everyone, and Shanae had got really far, hadn't she? And to be fair, I said to you, when Shanae went, that was bullshit because Clayton knew nothing of what she was doing in the background, did we? He'd gone with everything that Shanae had done, and her and Genevieve sat there, and she's like, she's an actress and all this stuff, and he took everything she said. There was no indication to Clayton why he shouldn't pick Shanae over Genevieve, but he did. Obviously, producer led. With Sarah, again, she'd done nothing to suggest it until the girls all chipped in and were like, yeah, she's really bad, blah, blah, blah. I can't help but think, Dave, that one of the girls left is now going to be the new Sarah because it just plays to it, doesn't it? They seem to want to shoot themselves in the foot because Sarah's response, I love that. I wrote that down straight away when he said, you're just forcing the tears out. That was fucking brilliant. It's great observation, Dave, because I was exactly this. I was like, go on, Clayton. It's the first time I'm going to properly give him props. And what made me laugh is, Dave, she did what like Sinead do, like well, most of the women who were scorned, the ones who have got a bit of class about them are like, good luck. See, even Mara was like, good luck. I love all you girls. I'm gone or whatever. Even if it's fake, she's trying to leave with a bit of dignity, a bit of respect. Fucking Sarah, they went, well, he's not the one for me anyway, then is he? If he doesn't do that. And I'm like, got you. He's got you completely because you would be devastated. If you think this guy is the love of your life, you would be devastated and like, I can't believe it. I want to speak to her. I'm really gutted and blah, blah, blah. You knew it was fake because literally she's like, Clayton, who? I'll see you on Bachelor in Paradise. It was just brilliant. I've got to give him his credit, Dave. I'm with you. That was his best moment of the series.
It was. And in that taxi ride back, I mean, the face told the whole story, didn't it? Again, if there was any doubt from that comment, the stony, ice cold face that you saw in the cab ride, it was a proper Scooby-Doo admission of guilt for me. So no, that was the best bit. But I'll tell you what, as well, Chris, I think my final point for this episode is no one really likes to be reminded how old they are. Not when you're as old as us. But I thought seeing Krista Berg just reminded me how old, because I remember him very, very differently. But I thought, fair enough. A lot of the time, Chris, when they get people on to this thing, it's people we've never heard of. But, Krista Berg, genuine legend, Lady in Red, legendary song. There can't be many more romantic than that, can there? And
no.
So again, probably playing a little bit on the Pretty Woman thing with the red dress and whatever. But no, I thought that was genuinely good. Not just it's good because it's a car crash, but genuinely good.
Yeah, and sorry to cut across. You're totally right. Like you say, he's in his 70s now. I think he's late 70s, but his voice was outstanding. There was I know there was a little bit of production with Dave. He's still got the voice and his piano playing. I was bought in on that. I was like, you know what? For once, whenever they have a musical section, which is usually a band who we don't know, an American band, either a country band or whatever. I don't know who they are or a singer. Krista Berg knew. He's not like he's still relevant in the UK now. He's not. That song is world famous from the 80s. It was one of the most romantic songs from the 80s, and it was played at so many weddings and things like that for years afterwards. and he's lived off that, and good luck to him. He's earned a lot of money from it, but he was brilliant. I thought that was really, I was dead surprised. I was like, and I actually sat there, didn't fast forward it, didn't do anything. I'm teetering over the plus 10 seconds on the Amazon Prime app, and I'm like, no, and it's the music. Honestly, I listened to all of that, and I'm not a massive fan of the song, but it just fit.
Really?
Yeah, not in a bad way. I think it's because when we were kids, it was always on, family dues and everything. I don't hate it. But if it comes on, I'll probably skip it on Spotify. I won't go, I'll listen to that. But it just worked for me. I thought it was a really, really good spot. And I know I criticise the Bachelor all the time, but that for once, I thought they got that right.
Yeah. I think I'm a bit of a softie. I love that song. I think Wonderful Tonight with Eric Clapton is probably another one that's right up there, top few romantic songs, I think.
Yeah, without a doubt. And after that, obviously, we've already talked about Sarah going. Sarah's gone, and then he's got the hometowns, hasn't he? So he's got the 4 girls who he's taking, or they're taking to the families. And the preview we get looks good. A couple of the dads are like, what the fuck's going on here? You know what I mean? Because we've had it before, haven't we, where they've said, well, why are you kissing all these people? What's going on? You're meeting us. They don't understand. We've said it, haven't we, where you can tell when the parents have been briefed or they know a little bit about TV and they play along. And then you get the ones going, well, you're snogging 4 other people or 3 other people. What the fuck's going on here? So I'm going to see how that plays out, because one of the dads ball breaks him completely. And I'm all here for that, Dave. I'm like, we'll see if Clayton, because I said it about Matt. Matt James was good, but also he didn't know what to do when he had to go off script. As soon as he went off script, he was fucked. As soon as someone asked him a question he wasn't prepped for, you could see him struggling. And the family's weeks was when Matt James struggled, I thought, in some of the interactions, because they were being real. Well, that's my daughter. What the hell are you doing? Show me that you actually want to be with her and stuff. So I like this with the hometown stuff, because we get a little bit of real stuff.
Yeah, no, I can't wait. And the thing is, with Matt James, like when he'd go quiet or something, you could see he was thinking. With Clayton, he doesn't. He just goes vacant, and there's nothing happening there. I've seen him a few times where he just has to walk off because he just can't process everything that's going on around him. So I think this will be a car crash. And the good thing is, Chris, because we're behind a little bit, we can just go ahead and watch the next one as soon as we finish this.
Yep, we can.
And again, what turnaround for this series? Not that it needs our validation. It's massively successful franchise still, but it's continuing to make me want to watch the next episode.
Yeah, I'm with you, Dave. We're winding it down. We are going to get, though, I think after next week, we should get that mid-season, all the girls get together and have a Royal Rumble like we did with
Women Tell All.
Women Tell All. That's cool. And I think that, like I say, the women are so much better than the men. They're just probably guys listening, but they just bring it, Dave. They absolutely bring it. So I'm looking forward to that, because there's going to be some kickoffs there. Sarah, Shanae, Cassidy. If they all turn up, Mara, they're all going to start laying into each other. Shanae's going to get so much.
It's going to be so good.
Oh, it's going to be brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Anyway, and we will get on to the episode 8, guys. We'll be caught up on The Bachelor. It's the rest of the bloody stuff, maths and that we're working on, aren't we, Dave?
Love is Blind.
Yeah, Love is Blind. Yeah, the second episode. We're going to get that. But we will get them done. Don't know us.
Maths. There's like hours and hours of that to watch.
Yeah. I'm about halfway through, Dave, where we need to be. But anyway, let's not depress ourselves. But as always, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We absolutely love doing this. You know that. If you want to support us, get over to patreon.com/CDRealityCast. If you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. So if you want to go over to Facebook, guys, Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast, our good friend Charlene runs that. She's the moderator. Me and Dave are always on there posting episodes. There's loads of tea being spilt over there from Reddit and some insider stuff. So please get over there. We'll approve you and join the community. If you want to follow us on social media @CDRealityCast. And also, if you get a chance, get over to your podcast catching up and drop us a review on the show. We really appreciate it. And we'll read them out, good or bad. So, Mr. Horrocks, we are back with a block rocking beat. We're both refreshed. Let's fucking do it. Let's catch up.
All right, mate. Well, I'm going to get on to the next episode. Which series of that I'm not quite sure, but like I say, over the next week, we'll be trying to catch up, and we'll be back at least at the end of next week, I think.
Good stuff. Right. Well, I'll see you next time.
Bye now.